Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we have beef and cheese enchiladas. I love it. This is sort of a back to basics, but it is perfect. There's going to be places where you can take some shortcuts. I'm not going to be doing that today. We're making the real deal. Enchilada sauce from scratch. Now, if you don't really feel like doing all that, yeah, you can replace the enchilada sauce with store-bought. Yeah, you can replace cooking up the ground meat with filling that's already made. Maybe take some chicken, a rotisserie chicken, shred it up, mix it with a little salsa, boom. Easy peasy. We're not doing that. We're doing the real deal today. All right, first things first. Now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. It's going to be a lot, but bear with me. We're going to double up on some. So that just means some stuff that ends up in the sauce will also end up in the filling for our enchiladas. It's a lot of stuff. You're going to need cilantro, you need some scallions, some limes. This is pretty much for serving. A large onion or two small ones. And I have some leftover. These are cubanelle peppers. I'm just incorporating these. You don't need these. Beef broth. Now, if you ever watch me, you know I'm normally a fan of chicken stock or chicken broth when it comes to broth applications, but in this instance, please use beef. Canned chipotle in adobo, coriander, some cumin, some tomato paste, garlic, sour cream. That's for serving. We'll put it with our limes. Vegetable oil, canola is great, safflower, grape, whatever you want. And some yellow corn tortillas. You're going to need some cheese. I'm using cheddar cheese. You're also going to need some ground beef. Probably 1 pound. Now that we got our ingredients, let's get started. So you're gonna need a couple ounces of these anchos, dried poblanos, if you will. So I'm just gonna get in here, cut out this stem. We're gonna go over to our stovetop. I have my big Dutch oven here. I'm just gonna toast these up. I'm gonna get a little broth going. So just dry in here, medium high heat, depending on your burner. Now don't forget, you need to stir these. It's gonna take probably 3 to 5 minutes for me to toast these thoroughly. Just gonna dice this up, 1/2-inch pieces. I should mention right now that we are going to be going into the oven. So this is a good opportunity to turn your oven on, get it preheated, 400 degrees, middle rack. Getting fragrant, I don't want them to burn. We got a hot pot here. I'm adding my 2 cups beef broth here. Sizzle, I want to bring it up to a simmer and I want to hydrate these anchos, all right? I'm gonna do 6 garlic cloves, 7 or 8 if they're small. You can see it's starting to simmer. It's gonna take 2 to 5 minutes, medium low heat when you got a simmer going. Our ancho chilies are hydrated. I'm gonna get them in the blender here. Now, if you have canned chipotle chilies, you're gonna wanna pull one out, mince it up, and add it. I would say probably add about a tablespoon, less if you don't have a good spice tolerance or this is going to kids or something. It's gonna have some really nice smokiness, a little bit of depth. Let's also get these cubanelle peppers. I'm just gonna put these with the onion. Same size as these onions over here. 2 tablespoons vegetable oil. Heat that on medium heat. I'm gonna put my essentially 2 small onions or 1 large onion and my cubanelle peppers in the oil, 5 minutes-ish. Let's add 1/2 teaspoon salt, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon if you're using kosher. It's time, we gotta add our garlic. You wanna cook it until it's fragrant. It's gonna take about a minute. Our garlic's cooked. I'm gonna take about half of this out, leave the rest in. Next up, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of tomato paste. That's a hefty amount, but we need it. And we're gonna cook it kind of like get it dark, almost like you're making a dark roux for a gumbo. Medium-low heat here. All right, we're getting a little bit of color. It's sticking to the bottom. That's fine. We're gonna add a teaspoon of cumin here. Stir it around, get it fragrant. It's gonna take 30 to 60 seconds. All right, now that that's done, if you use a non-stick skillet, for example, you're great. I didn't. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons, maybe just a tablespoon of beef broth, just to scrape up all that delicious brown bits. Now I'm gonna put this into my blender. This might take a minute. Consistency looks fantastic. Voila, we have ourselves some delicious enchilada sauce. Now, doesn't that just look ideal? As I'll put a little bit on the plate so you can see the texture. Perfect. Exactly what we want. Let's move over to the beef. Beef up in the pot over medium heat. I'm gonna break it up, cook it until pretty much all the brown has gone away, or all the pink has gone away, and we got a nice kind of grayish brown. You can add a little oil if you want. I don't think you need it. My beef is fatty enough. I got 90-10 beef, 1 pound. Okay, we're getting close on the beef. There's still a little pink left, but that's okay. I'm gonna be adding about a teaspoon of ground coriander and a teaspoon of ground cumin. I'm also gonna be adding about half a teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add in my leftover, my reserved onions and peppers here, and garlic. Cook until all pink is gone and those spices are fragrant, 1 to 2 minutes. So for my cheese, I am doing a sharp cheddar. So I'm gonna shred about 2 cups of it. So let's get shredding. Put about 1.5 cups right there. We'll reserve this rest. I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup of my enchilada sauce here. And I've already washed this cilantro. So I'm just going to do a couple tablespoons, and I'll put a couple tablespoons on top. So 1/4 cup all day. I like bites of cilantro, so I'm not gonna mince it up too small. All right, let's stir this up. I am gonna give it a taste to make sure it's seasoned well. I'm gonna put a pinch more cheese in there. That's good. I don't think it needs a lick of salt. Oh, I got all these different flavors. I got a bite of cilantro right at the end. It just smoothed everything over. Oh my God. I kind of need to finish these, but I just want to eat this as is. Just put it in a taco and call it a day. You can use a casserole dish. This one's cast iron. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna put a little bit of this enchilada sauce down here on the bottom. Maybe 1/2 cup, give or take. Maybe 1/3. Use this brush. There we go. Channel your Bob Ross. But it's really important. You want to get good corn tortillas because that really makes the dish. You want 12. So I'm going to put a little vegetable oil here. I'm just going to brush them, fill them, roll them, get them in the pan. I only want to take about 1/12. Here we go. Easy peasy. Some will look better than others. That's fine. Only thing left is our enchilada sauce. We're going to put that over top. Get a look at some of these here. Oh, this looks so good. All right, so I'm gonna take that remaining cheese and I'm just gonna sprinkle it. Now I'm going to bake this. I pretty much want it heated through, cheese melted. If I can get browning, that's a bonus. 400 degrees, middle rack. Here we go, 10 to 15 minutes to clean up. Oh, but first I gotta prep my sour cream, my limes. I like to top them with some scallion. So I'll just do 1 or 2, depending on who wants it. Cut up this lime real fast. It's time. Oh yeah, I could have used so much more cheese. All right, word to the wise, put more cheese on. Oh, unless you're on a diet. Oh, it's so sad. You're gonna wanna let them cool a little bit. I don't have the patience for that. I'm gonna dig right in here. We're gonna pretty it up though. We're gonna get a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of scallion on here. Bellissimo. All right. It's time for my favorite part. I am gonna do a squeeze of lime that'll just kind of brighten things up. Bring out some of those flavors a little bit more. I'll dig in on this open side here. Meat looks good, it's nice and hot. Oh yeah. Hot. Oh, that's so good. A little bit of that cilantro and that scallion. The lime really brightens everything up. Like, it's just super beefy. Get a ton of beef, and then all that enchilada sauce, those chilies and whatnot, they just start building in there. And the corn tortilla, that starts on the front end. It kind of fades. Pleasant, it's another flavor. It's another level to this dish. Enchilada sauce, it just finishes everything. You get the corn tortilla, the cilantro, the scallion, and the beef hits you. And then the enchilada sauce just carries it home. And the cheese is there. It's not overpowering. It's not like I'm tasting and eating just straight cheese. It just adds a pleasant richness and a little bit of that sharpness, but I can't tell. Like if I was blindfolded and I had no idea what was in here, and you asked me what type of cheese, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. I hope you liked what you saw. This was beef and cheese enchiladas. If you did like what you saw, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks so much. I hope you drop me a follow, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.